If you want to know if education is required for the job that you're wanting to get, let's say you have an ambition to become like marketing director of a pharmaceutical company, whatever. That's your ambition. Go to LinkedIn, get the premium version, do a people search and say marketing director, pharmaceutical company, or, whatever, marketing director. And then you restrict the search to like pharmaceutical industry, right? Pharma. And you also restrict it to your geographic region. So your city or your region. And then see who pops up. It'll be people that are either in that role now or who have previously been in that role. Look at their profiles. What did they have? Did they all have PhDs or did they all just have high school? So that can give you an idea of like, what do I need to be in that role? Look at like 50 of them. Like, what do they have in common? Do they all have like a bachelor degree and 25 years experience in this role? If they all have 25 years experience in that role, maybe you should get 25 years experience in that role if your ambition is to be in that position. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can like get like some real world data on like how useful or how prominent certain things are, like educational qualifications. That's how you get feedback. That's how you know. If this is a thing that like nobody out there has, it's kind of hard to argue that you then need to have it to have a certain job. You know what I mean? I don't care if 80% of people do one thing and only 20% do another. You could still do the thing that only 20% of people are doing and be successful if you know what you're doing. Just because like the majority does this, does that mean you necessarily have to follow the herd? No, it doesn't. So like these questions about like statistics about like, where the jobs are. Oh, 58% of the jobs are here rather than there. So does that mean you have to look there? No. A lot of times it even is an advantage to kind of go against the grain because these people are a dime a dozen. These people are more rare. So depending on the context and the situation, just getting these general statistics, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't necessarily even inform you of what you should be doing. Like, for example, some people go to university, they study philosophy, they study fine arts, they study things that like traditionally you don't have a overabundance of jobs in those areas. You know what I'm saying? So if you're concerned about getting a job, they would say, okay, we'll go into this because this is the one thing that of all the things, this is the most in demand right now, right? But maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you have no talent for that, no interest in that. But maybe you're interested in philosophy. Well, some people go into philosophy and they get a PhD in philosophy and they end up getting a fabulous job in philosophy based on their PhD. Just because it wasn't the most popular thing doesn't mean you can't succeed. You can succeed if you know what you're doing. So maybe a better strategy is whatever you want to do, whatever you decide to do. You can look at general trends and things, but whatever it is you're wanting to do, learn how to do it. Well, learn everything you can about that industry or that business or how people get hired in that business. What's required to do different things. Learn all you can about that. Hang out with those people, do informational interviews with them. Get like pearls of wisdom from the people that are in that role today, that have been there. You also are making connections for what that's worth, but you're learning like the ins and outs. If you want to be a doctor in a very specific specialized field, and you've got your family members saying like, oh, you'll never be that, or I don't know, how many jobs are there for that person in this region? It's like you could still do it. Go and interview with doctors who are specialized in that field. Ask them the ins and outs of it. Ask them how the industry works. Ask them the nature of the job. What can you do with that? What advantages does it give you? And they'll give you real world advice and experience. It's not that you take any one person's advice as law, but you talk to many people that are doing it. You will learn so much and you will be so well equipped to succeed in doing that thing if you do that kind of thing. There's an easy way to do that, okay? If you want to know kind of a little bit what that looks like, first of all, I talk about it in that course. You should check that out. But also, I've got a free video. It's linked in the description box below. It's called How Successful People Get Jobs. It basically walks you through how to do this kind of thing for direct outreach and informational interviews. So check that out. Go watch that video. Rod Harris says, what is the best way to use a business administration degree to enter construction or project management without going back to school? It's very simple. Here's what you do. You ignore everything I would possibly say because I'm not in the construction business, nor am I a project management in construction. And instead, what you do is you learn how to get informational interviews with people who are project managers in the construction industry in your hometown. And then you go and talk to a bunch of those people one-on-one, okay? That's what you do because they will tell you exactly what to do, okay? And they'll tell you exactly how it works. And as an added bonus, a fringe benefit is that they are also connected personally to all the people that could hire you as a project manager. That's what you do. So learn how to get informational interviews, and that's where you get that information. Don't talk to intermediaries like me on what our opinion is about something that we're not doing. Go talk to the people that are actually doing it, okay? So what you need to learn is how to get and how to conduct an informational interview. Now, if you want to learn that with me, I have that in this course, okay? I've also talked about it on free videos and stuff like that. But that's what you need to do, Rod. And you will not only get an answer to that question, you will get a ton of insider information about not just that position, not just that position in that industry, but that plus local things that's happening around you where you live, like what companies are hiring, what companies are expanding, and what they're looking for, right? You'll also get that as an added bonus. So if that's interesting to you, learn how to do that, and that's exactly how you get that.